Oh, hi. Good to see y'all back here on Math Boys Masterpieces. It's been a minute, and the reason that it's been a minute since I posted a video is because of the project that I'm working on in this video in some small way. Because, like, when you're trying to film a video, you need video filming equipment, and my video filming equipment is just like been all over the place. I have the little GoPro camera, I have the big camera, and I have my phone. Those are the three things that I film with. And each one of them has different batteries that have to be plugged in, and each one of them has different accessories that has to be kept track of and organized. I've got the mounts for the GoPro, I've got the battery and the cables for the camera. So I have all this camera gear, and it's just been like in the different four or five different little places, different little camera bags, and it's been so hard to deal with. Every time I go to do something, I have like a missing cable, or I have a battery that's dead, or I can't find the mount. So I decided to make this box to put all the camera gear in one place, and it's always plugged in. The box itself is just going to plug in and charge everything automatically. And actually, I filmed creating the box, but I don't know what happened to that footage. So it's probably on a little mini SD card somewhere. So you didn't get to see the creation of the box. It was kind of a fun process. There's all the little angle brackets there holding the thing together. I had to uh, rivet those on with a little handheld rivet gun, and that handheld rivet gun is just terrible. I did not like using it. I used it for one more part, but it's like the handle is so wide that you can't, it takes two hands to grab it, but when you're using two hands to grab it, you don't have any way to hold on to the rivet and hold it in place. So it was a pain. But I got the box put together. Here I'm finalizing it. I'm putting the lid on. You can see I added the hinges, put those in the right place, screwed those in, riveted those in the bottom, and now I noticed that it just opened up all the way, so I added this little chain so it just opens up to the point where it opens up. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put the latches on that latch it closed, and then I'm going to start organizing the stuff in it. Man, I'll tell you what, that dude has got some Yolene skills. You don't see a lot of people Yoleneing out there, but that one was a pretty good one. I mean, he might have only hit 8 pins, but man, the form. It's all about the form. So here he's taking and putting the clasps on. I guess they're like little briefcase clasps. But since the front of the case lid sticks out a little further than the front of the case itself, he has to kind of mortise those in a little bit. So here, just carving it out with a hand knife. Mortise, since it's such a small little section, there's no need to like try to chisel that out or anything. So just mortising out the top part of the latches. And then he screws those latches on, and then comes to the dreaded part with the with the rivet gun again, the rivet handheld rivet popping thing. And I'll try to point out where you can see like how terrible that thing is. First, I just take and put the tops on, and then I just screwed the bottom part into front of the front of the case, the part with the handle on it. But see there, he's screwing the ones onto the lid, the top part of the clasp. And then I take the bottom part of the clasp with the little wire that clasps to the top part, and I just screwed it in. But since that's only a quarter-inch piece of masonite, whatever that is made out of, it was just screws sticking through there, and I didn't want screws sticking through there. So I drilled those holes out. I took the bottom part of the clasp off, drilled the holes out to the size of the rivets, and then of course on the metal clasp thing, the holes were too small for the rivets, so I had to drill those out too. And then I cleaned up those holes a little bit, and here comes that rivet gun. You can see I had to get two hands on it in order to pop that rivet, to tighten the rivet on there. So it's really tough to do. I don't know why they designed that thing with the handle that's wider than it's possible to grip with one hand. Maybe it's made for like Andre the Giant. Maybe I bought the wrong rivet gun. I probably bought the Andre rivet gun. I should have bought the human-sized one. But I know they have some for like the pneumatic versions that you can use. So there I'm using the stomach method. You put one side on your belly and you push the other side up with your hand. The pneumatic ones would be awesome, but then I have to get the air compressor out of the truck to do it. I guess they have electric ones too that you could get with like a battery, like kind of like a screw gun, a rivet gun. But for something that I use, like very rarely, I don't want to invest in a specialty tool for something that's, oh, here's this regular speed part. You can see how I actually move. Must have hurt my finger. Just there's the clasps. Open them up. The chain. There you go. The next part of the construction of this camera camera case, was planned out while I was making the box. See how I left that spot in the lid? Kind of reminded me of like a briefcase lid. And I always thought about how briefcase lids always have the little pockets. And I had this fabric here with some little pockets in it. It used to be like part of one of the beach tent walls. You could hang like a beach tent wall on it and had all these pockets on it. But we never used the walls on the beach tent. We just used the lid, the part on the top. So I just tore that side apart and used it for the little pockets. So it's like the briefcase lid that has the little pockets in it. And that's gonna have my like the thinner things, the little plasticky things, the plastic cover for the camera in case it's raining. It's got for the like the little microfiber wipes for like the lenses. And I wanted to have my mounts for the GoPro in there. So my GoPro mounts will also be in that. I have one mount that goes on my chest mount and then a head mount. So I have those two mounts and those are going to go in there also. But when I cut it to size it ended up being a little bit, the pockets were not quite the right size, so I had to sew to make the pockets more precise size. And then I just cut off the edges. I sewed to the pockets up to the edge, cut off the excess, and then to attach that to that inset part in the lid, I was just going to use some contact adhesive. And the only contact adhesive I had was this Spray Super 77 spray adhesive. The same kind I used on the oh no, the Volkswagen I used the 79, I think. But that 77 was left over from a project a while back. And I used that for something else. I don't remember. Putting a doormat together, I think. But man, that tape was messed up too. I ended up throwing that tape away. It's getting so old. That's another thing. If you have tape and you're like saving it for years and years because you're like me and you just save things for years and years, the adhesive on the tape will eventually start to deteriorate and it'll not work as well. So that tape starts tearing apart and sticks to other parts of it. So I saved that tape for years trying to be frugal, and I ended up having to throw it away anyway because it was deteriorated. The adhesive was no good on it. So don't be scared to use your tape. It's better than holding on to it and not being able to use it at all. So use your tape as you have it. It's better to use it up. You can see I'm using those rubber gloves. I don't want to get that adhesive. I was thinking it might like come through and stick to my fingers. It didn't though. It seems like it's holding real well. I've had the thing finished for a couple weeks now and it still is nice and strong. The blue fabric is still stuck on there. It's still holding the thing that was in there, and that's that contact adhesive works good for fabric. Fabric to masonite is a positive bond for that spray 77 3M adhesive. Good stuff. One thing I noticed is my South Carolina patch on my jacket there is just really straight like a board. So I kind of bended that a little bit so it's more natural curvature to my arms ever since I watched this video. I noticed that a long time ago, but it just looks really weird right here. I have this big square thing sticking off my arm. I think the next part of this video is going to be me figuring out which pieces go where. I was thinking about that. I didn't end up putting a piece of fabric in there. I just went straight to foam. I think it was good. Having just foam in there is fine. Oh, the next part is getting all the cord mounted in there. That was good. That's one of my favorite things. It's having this corded box, so I can just plug the whole box in, and then all my batteries for all my cameras, and I have a little gimbal also that charges. That little gimbal is going to be always charged up. My three cameras are always going to be charged up. Super nice to have. And my tripod is always going to be with the camera gear. I do have one other little like tripod thing that mounts to just whatever. That was a little bit too big to fit in there, but that's just attached to something in the garage. So there's one piece. And I end up having a little bit more room in this box than what the things that I had, but that's okay because you always end up getting more stuff. And I'll have a little bit more space to put something else. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be figuring out where things go, putting foam in there, cutting the foam up with the hot wire foam cutter, and getting it all glued together. You can see there's parts of it where it's like uh, footage seems to have disappeared. It's because I don't have the proper camera gear always charged up right now. But in the next videos, hopefully this project will take care of that, and my videos from here on out will not have as many moments where there's missing footage. Alright, so I'm gonna put some music, enjoy the rest of it, watching me cut foam with a hot wire knife without the proper uh, breathing respirator, but that's okay. It's just very little bit of fumes, and they're only slightly carcinogenic. Alright, I'll put some music on. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the subscribe button and smash the Patreon channel likes and all that stuff. I don't understand what all that is, but something. Bye.